actually really frustrated because actually the funny thing is, people when they approach us, a number of times they always complaining about price. Your price is too high. Your price too high. I know we have a better part of the competitions, but people only want to look at price, and that is frustrating. So how can I show them that we're much better than that? They shouldn't be just looking at price. How can I do it? Hey guys, this is typically the situation that I face. Not only I face myself, but I have so many people that I've met in different conferences talking about that. I also have had like a solar supplier coming to me and confessing to me that they are frustrated by that and they're not the only one. So that's the question we have to do today. So how can you educate the customer so that they don't only look at price? That is the question that I want to discuss today at Renewables and Money Live today. So my name is Tony Tio. I'm the founder and CEO of Renewables in Africa. I'm your global clean energy champion. So what we do here is to simplify the sector for you. And more specific on this session, we're looking at the money question. We're looking at how you run the business of running a business. And today, I wanted to look at this question because I know it is so important. Before I dive into that, let me just remind household rules here very quickly. So there's 3 rules. The first thing I want you to do is to sign up our platform, right? Whether it's on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on YouTube, on on Telegram, and on Twitter. Yeah, you can definitely watch this video in there. So make sure that you subscribe to at least one of them, ideally all of them, right? The second thing, just leave us a comment. Leave us a comment. Tell us what you think. Tell us whether you like it or not, and we'll be happy to share more with you. And the third thing, what I want to do, especially you can do it right now, take a couple of seconds to do it, is just to share, right? That's what I wanted to do. Now, back into the question. Like I say, how can I educate my customer on price? That is so important. That's one of the crucial questions people they had to solve it in 2021, 2022, 2023, and forward. And I promise you, until staying how you can tackle that, you always going to be struggling. You're always going to be struggling. And that's a question that we have most of the time. So now, how can we deal with it? First of all, why is it important? Because I say, if you don't do that, you will still struggle. And you know that. Be the question. So how some other people don't seem to have this issue? Yeah, they seem to be doing well and so on and so forth. But for us, I'm struggling. I want to show that I have a better product. They don't need me to compare me on price only. How can I do it? Very good question, guys. Yeah, very good question. So especially when you are some emerging market, people will be telling me, yeah, people don't have a lot of money there, and as such, they very much price sensitive. Guess what? There's so many, pretty much all industry are price sensitive. Only maybe you luxury business or whatever. All of it is price sensitive. The issue is here, you have not yet dealt with the problem yourself. You've not solved it yourself, right? But it's a problem you continuously going to have. And usually, what I usually say to people, and I say that to myself as well, when you keep having a problem, it's almost like life is forcing you to look at it and say, hey, listen, you still have not addressed it. And guess what? When you're addressing it, you have a step change, right? You go to the next level, and all of a sudden, that's how you've acquired experience. So how can we look at that? How can we look at that? Yeah. So first of all, when people are telling me, yeah, customers are so price sensitive, that's the only thing they're looking. I say, really? Are you sure about that? Yeah. And they ask me, what can we do? Tony, what can we do? Let me give you some free advice here. Yeah. Obviously, you're free to take it, but let me at least give you that. So what I want to say is, and that's the fundamental reason people will look at, people actually will believe that it's only price that obviously some are looking at, and they get beaten up on that. So your customer will only look at price, and they will hammer you with price because you've not built enough value into your product. Oh, I know. I hear some of you will say, yeah, Tony, that's a little bit cliche. Everybody say that. But let me just give you a couple of scenarios here, right? First of all, I would say, at the moment, customers saying that it's simply because the value they're associating to your product doesn't match the product, the price that they have in mind. So basically, your price is here, and the perceived value in their eyes is there. So what you want to do is bring them together and potentially even have value going up, so that they can feel like they're having a bargain, and there is a no-brainer for them just to go with you. So how can you do it? Yeah. An emerging market in Africa and so on and so forth, people say, no, people only look at price. Are you really sure? But let me just give you a couple of scenarios here. You see, I know it's a little bit tragic, but let me take that example. You will see the number of people that are ready to die to go to Europe, to America. They cross the oceans, the desert, all the dangerous situation, and on top of that, they pay an enormous amount of money. Why? Simply because they believe that once they're on the other side, they have better opportunity. It is worth it. The price to pay, it is worth it. And they're ready to even give their lives to do that. And they pay enormous amount of money. You see people, those same people, we are saying that they don't have disposable income. All of a sudden, they're able to afford a couple of $1,000s, $5,000, so on and so forth. I don't know anything about that business. That's what I've heard, right? And by the way, I'm not doing the apology of that. What I'm showing to you is, in their eyes, there's so much value in what they're doing, because they know that once they cross the road, hey, who knows? They can become champion, maybe like Francis Ngannou. That's what they have in mind. They can become a footballer. They can become Sadio Mane, right? They can make it. So that's the price they're associating to that. So I promise you, when you come and say to the same person that say to your product, I can't buy it because it's too expensive. If you say, I give you a ticket to go to England, to France, to Germany, to America, I don't know, to China, they do that immediately. They find the money. If they needed to find the money overnight, they do it. These are the people you're talking to, and they say your product, it's too expensive because you haven't built up enough value. Second scenario, obviously we all like Apple products. Yeah, Apple phone. You see people have 2-3 phones, essentially, right? And those same people, when there was a new Apple product, they're running. They just want to buy it. They don't even look at the price most of the time. Or they find a way to afford it. Yeah. Because for them, it's so worth it. There is a value they're associating to that. It elevates their status, show them that they're actually connected to this world. They perceive as techie people. They're part of Apple crowd. Yeah. That's what we're talking about here. So the problem you're having, and the problem as well that I'm working on building, I've solved for my company, you have not built up enough value. That's what people are hammering you with this. You have no value. Now the question you're going to be asking, so how can I build up value, Tony, if you say that? That's where I want to give you a couple of advice. By the way, feel free to take it or not, right? But leave me a comment. Let me know what you think, because I'm actually curious for that one. That's a particularly important one. So, like the title is saying, you want to educate your customer. You want to educate your customer on what really your product is, what it does, for them to properly understand what they buy into. So it means that progressively, you're going to be doing that. You're going to be doing extra bit that other people don't do to find a way to engage with this customer and progressively to demonstrate to them what is the added benefit that they have when they go for your product as opposed to somebody else. You need to be building that trust with them, relationship over a period of time. Now, how do you do it? There's multiple ways, and I'm more than happy to have the conversation with you. Just chat to me. We can talk about that. But this is what you want to be doing. You educate your customer on a different ways for them to be able to reach that. But it's so important, because if you don't do that, they're still going to hammer you. I'm talking about, for example, that solar supply time that coming to me and said, hey, I only get hammered with that. There's nothing else to do. I said, no. Look again. Look carefully. I promise you, as I say, it's simply because they still don't see the value that your product has compared to others. They see all of that as the same. If you're saying to me that your product is superior, how is it superior? Is it going to really help me? Show scenario, different, I don't know, situation. Tell me as well why you are different than the other guys. That is what you want to be working on. Yeah, that's the first thing I want to tell you. The first advice I want to give you, which is kind of obvious, right? Put it that way. The second one, this is where the money is. The second one, this is where the money is. Let me give you an example. You probably understand. When you want to buy a phone, who are you thinking about? What phone are you thinking about? I'm sure there's about 2 or 3 brands that you have in mind. Apple, Samsung, whoever, I don't know. Yeah. If you say you want to be going and searching, for a word, or maybe do some search on internet, search engine, which one you using? There's only one this day, but there's more than one that exists out there. Everybody's talking about Google. Yeah, I know now that you also have the chat GPT. Yeah, everybody just talking about that. Now, if you say that you want to drink something, you want to go different places, people think about Coca-Cola. If you say, okay, you want to go and have a fast food, the first one that comes into your mind, McDonald's. Yes, guys, that's where the money is. Building your brand. Building your brand. Building your brand. That is super, super important. That is critical, guys. You have to understand it. It is critical. It is critical about building your brand. This is really, for me, where the money is, because I've said that to people when you're having private meetings, and I can say that also in public here. When people are actually doing the transaction, purchasing your product, yet you most of the time, this is not the first time the sale has started. This is only the day you are completing the sales, but the sale started before. Because when people come to you, in their mind, whether they realize it or not, they're already applying a filter. Who I want to talk to with regard to that service that I want, or that product that I want. So if you don't make it to the filter, to the list that is in their mind, you're already losing out. You already losing out. You want to make it to the filter. And then when you make it to the filter, obviously you wasn't there. If you've done a good enough education, yeah, the customer will go for you. Now, the education could be, face to face, if you're lucky enough to have your customer in front of you, or could be through a different platform. But customer needs to be able to find out that, okay, from whatever research I'm doing, these guys are the one. How are you standing now? Building your brand, building your brand, building your brand. You already have to make it to the filter. If you don't do that, my friend, I'm sorry, you're going to be losing out. So no, the customer, wherever you go, I actually challenge you. No, it's not just pricing. And I can even actually bet you that you can even test it. Just customer. Okay, if price were the same, which one are you going to go for? So if you say that my competitor is cheaper than me, if I match the price, which one are you going to go for? If it still goes for the other person, it means that they were not going to go with you anyway. Now, if it goes with you, one thing, is that they like you. And there's something they like in you. So you want to find out what is it they like in you. And that's maybe why you can be justified to them that is why you want to pay more, because that's the precise thing that you like in me. Brand, guys, building a brand. You want to make sure that, like I say, so you stand out clearly. Yeah. When you build your brand, yeah, that will take you far. Definitely. If you don't build your brand, yeah, it's gonna be difficult. If you build a brand, then even if you play on prices, low prices, but you get the volume, you still end up being, in a good situation most of the time. Yeah. Don't tell me that I've simplified business model. But guys, that is what we're talking about here. I need you to understand that. So let me just be relatively short and say that, yes. So when you're talking about having an issue with your price, customer only looking at price, you want to educate your customer so that they get to understand why you are different, why your product is better, why your product is superior. How is it going to help them? How is it going to help them more than other people? Why? So that they understand that why. But the second thing for me is really where the money is. It's about building your brand, building your brand, building your brand. You can't escape that. You may want to escape that yourself, but it means that your competitor then going to play on that and you're going to lose out to it. That I'm telling you, you can't escape that. Now, how can you build your brand? Hey, there's multiple things that you can do. Definitely reach out to me, and I'm more than happy to talk to you more to talk to you about that, how you can do it. Yeah. So we have a couple of things that we're doing, and you will be interested. I promise you. Definitely do reach out. If you listen to me and you don't reach out to me because you don't want to hear about how to build your brand, okay, I understand it. Then find somebody else, but you have to do it. That's what I'm telling you. That is actually where the money is. Okay, guys. Excellent. Just wanted to do this video because I thought that was an important topic just to have today for renewables and money. You know, the business of running a renewable energy business is important to talk about that. For me, that is great. So love having you here. And like I say, feel free to leave me a comment, drop me an email, reach out to me, and I'm more than happy to talk to you. Right. And until then, guys, like I say, so you have a superb day, and I'm hoping that very soon again, actually not very long. It's going to be on Sunday. We're going to catch up again, and we'll have a chance to again talk to one another. Until then, guys, be great, be safe, enjoy yourself. Make sure that you make 2023 your year, build your brand, reach out, and I'll be happy to talk to you. May the sun be with you guys. Get better. Take care. Bye bye.